Hey.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Delaware County Technical Schools Practical Nursing Program Virtual Open House. I do appreciate you taking the time to be with us tonight, and I'm hopeful that this presentation is transformative and the benefits of our program encourage you to pursue practical nursing. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat box, and we will answer them in the Q&A segment at the end of our session. Before we begin, if you haven't already, please take a few seconds to let us know how you heard about this event. There will be a poll on your screen, so please check off the appropriate answer and then just click submit. Thank you for doing that.
We still have couple more people that have not seen
Okay.
answers yet.
I guess it's not showing up on everybody's, but
It should be showing up. If you're on a cell phone that you're calling in, you might not be able to see it.
okay. They could chat it in. A couple of people have been doing that.
Sure. Kate, if you'd like to continue, you can.
Yep. So all of the information that I will review tonight is available in complete detail on our website, dciu.org/LPN. Tonight, the presenters that are on Zoom who will be speaking are, first of all, myself is Kate McNamara, and I am the current supervisor of the Delaware County Technical Schools Practical Nursing Program. We also have Carol Doherty. She's the Director of Nurses for the Belvedere Nursing Center. Hi, Carol. We have Steve Hill, Personal Care Director of Brightview Senior Living. We have Chrissy Farah, who is the Director of Development for Fair Acres Geriatric Center. We have Jeannie Cavalier Grover, Practical Nursing Program Financial Aid Consultant. And we also have Dr. Stephen Boots, the Director of Career and Technical Education Program at the Delaware County Technical Schools. Thank you, everybody, for being on our panel tonight. So, just to give you a brief introduction, the Delaware County Intermediate Unit is an educational service organization whose mission is committed to the development and delivery of quality, cost-effective programs and services to schools and their communities. The Practical Nursing Program fits within the educational framework of student services under the Delaware County Technical Schools adult programs. So the Practical Nursing Program is located at 85 North Malin Road in Broomall, PA. You can see that on our picture. Our goal is to prepare you to sit for the state NCLEX PN examination for licensure and to be employed as a licensed practical nurse. Our program is for anyone over the age of 18, no matter the workforce, parents, or looking to further their education. And that's what many of our students are doing. So Dr. Boots, would you like to say a few words?
Just want to say thank you for everybody for joining us on this webinar open house. The reality is we have learned to do this during the COVID, and sharing the information allows us to be able to record it and provide people with access to this recording at any time. So feel free, ask your questions, and we'll attempt to give you answers. You can put them in the chat. You can put them in the question answer. I want to say thank you to our partners, various people assisting us with this webinar, and also people who will be contributing. I am very excited with the opportunities that we have for our adult students, and the opportunities that we are able to provide to Delaware County. All yours, Ms. McNamara.
Thank you, Dr. Boots. So I will offer a complete breakdown of the program later this evening, but first I would like to share with you the recent accolades the practical nursing program has received from Georgetown University Center on Education and the Workforce. In 2020, our practical nursing program was recognized as Pennsylvania's top higher education program based on a 10-year net evaluation. To put this in simpler terms, 10 years after enrolling, graduates of our program are earning more than graduates of any other program in Pennsylvania when you factor in the cost of school. Our program offers a quality education at an affordable price. So now you will hear from Martin Vanderwerf, a representative from Georgetown University's Center on Education and the Workforce, to congratulate our program on this achievement.
Hello, I'm Martin Vanderwerf. I'm with the Georgetown University Center on Education and the Workforce, and I'm one of the authors of the reports we have done on the return on investment from colleges and college programs. The rankings of college ROI come from data submitted to the College Scorecard, which is a website created about 5 years ago by the U.S. Department of Education. We started looking at the website at the center and trying to determine where students would have the highest earnings based on their programs and credentials. We were looking not just at big four-year colleges and universities, but at smaller colleges and institutions that people don't think about often, but have lots of value for the students that they serve. What we found in general is that students who enrolled in short-term programs often got the most value out of them in the short run. It makes sense because people who spend less time in school have more time to be out in the workforce making money. The Licensed Practical Nursing Program at DCIU is one of the most lucrative certificate programs in Pennsylvania, but also in the nation, when you measure it by return on investment over the first 10 years after enrollment. Nursing programs in general hold a lot of promise for students. Earnings are high, and Pennsylvania is expecting a shortage of LPNs by 2030, as are other parts of the country. In addition, 20% of LPNs go on to earn either a bachelor's or a master's degree in nursing. So the increasing demand for nurses will likely drive earnings even higher than present levels, and increasing levels of education like a bachelor's degree will also lead to higher wages. Our research is intended to show people that good career choices are available for potential students at all levels of the American higher education system. The Licensed Practical Nursing Program at DCIU is one of those programs with great value at a low cost.
So now that you've heard some of the exciting things about some of the exciting things that our program has to offer, you're probably wondering, why would you become a licensed practical nurse? Well, to answer this question, I'm going to review what a practical nurse is, and my fellow panelists will discuss the growing need for LPNs and the endless opportunities that this career can provide. To start, what is an LPN? Well, the LPN performs selected nursing acts in the care of the ill or injured under the direction of the registered nurse, physician, or dentist. Now more than ever, nurses are essential to our nation's health and well-being. If you are taking care of people, nursing may be for you. As an LPN, you'll provide patients with quality care and comfort measures. So this includes performing numerous skills, clinical tasks, and offering basic care and assistance to patients in a variety of settings. So Carol, can we start with you? And can you tell me how you've seen the demand for LPNs grow in recent years?
Yes, hi, everybody. So we were projected to be in a nursing shortage based on the aging of the population and the aging of the workforce. It should have happened about 10 years ago, but due to some factors in the financial environment with the stock market and people losing large amounts of money from their retirement funds, some of our nurses that were planning to retire could not retire, and they stayed in the workforce longer. So what should have happened 10 to 15 years ago is now starting to happen, and we're seeing it because they're at an advanced age and they rebuilt their retirement. Also, we have seen a large exodus or leaving of healthcare jobs in general, secondary to the COVID pandemic. And all of the drastic changes that occurred from the pandemic. A lot of people decided that they needed to focus their attention elsewhere. And in general, there are so many more opportunities for positions in healthcare that it is a very viable degree to obtain, and definitely very, very needed in the community. We are very, very, very much looking for increased nursing students, increased nurses out there so that care can be provided.
Thank you, Carol. Steve, so you graduated the program, and we're just kind of wondering, how has your relationship evolved over the years with DCIU, and how did this program help you get where you are today?
Well, first off, hey, how you doing there, Kate and everyone else?
Good to see you.
So of all my interviews, as soon as I mention or they look at my resume, you see that I've graduated from the technical school. I've got a lot of promotions and the wage increases. So once I sit down in our interview and tell them where I graduated from, I'm earning $3 to $5 more. So that might not sound much, but by the end of the year, that adds up. So with the LPN program, and we just now watched the YouTube clip from Georgetown, Delaware County Technical School is well known. So when you sit down for an interview and people hear that name, it rings volume. A lot of the people that come through the technical school, if you meet them in the workforce, they're very grateful of all the instructors and just being a part of the Delaware County Technical School family. So that was a positive thing. When it comes to nursing, it's in high demand. Healthcare workers are in high demand. So you're always going to have the opportunity to be gainfully employed. You have different options, agencies, nursing communities, hospital. It's a broad spectrum. Now we have people working in agencies, and a lot of people are traveling now. So there's a lot of financial gain in being an LPN or being a nurse and working in the healthcare field.
Thank you, Stephen. Chrissy, what are the nursing needs that you are seeking these days, and how have the LPNs coming out of our program met those needs?
Unmute.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
What was the
there
question
we
again?
go.
I'm trying to get my screen to work.
No, that's okay. I had some technical difficulties earlier as well. So Chrissy, what are the nursing needs that you are seeking these days, and how have the LPNs coming out of our program met those needs?
Well, across the board, there is a nursing shortage, as was mentioned earlier. I find that in our facilities, especially that LPNs, they're a big part of it. Most of our staff is LPNs, and they are essential for running day to day. And I find that the DCIU program, it prepares you guys to come out graduate and be ready to work on the floors. So,
You know, it's funny because I've often said to the students while they're here that within a year, they may find themselves in a leadership position. And I
exactly.
can only look at Steve now to say, you know, Steve Hill there, that, you know, you're a product of that, where you found yourself very quickly in a leadership position.
Mhm.
And I don't think we always realize that, but, you know, you're a charge nurse before you know it, or you're running a nursing home before you know it. So there's a lot of potential for growth as an LPN as well.
Yes,
So thank you, Chrissy.
no problem.
Anybody else want to add anything else to that? Carol, Chrissy, or Steve?
Yeah, I wanted to add that the market has drastically changed and has really reopened to high level jobs for LPNs, whereas in the past, hospitals were looking for RNs with BSNs. They kind of changed their tune, and they're taking newly graduated LPN students under their wing and trying to mentor them in a hospital-like setting. So the opportunities have drastically altered over the past, I would say, 4 years for that particular position in nursing. Much more opportunity out there.
Thank you. So obtaining your practical nursing license can be a stepping stone on the pathway towards furthering your education. Many graduates of our program came to us when they realized that a 4-year college nursing program was not the right match for them. So we're going to play a short video of Memanu, a graduate of our program.
So my path to becoming an LPN was definitely different. I started off going to a 4-year university, and I realized that it wasn't for me. I got overwhelmed pretty quickly. And so I left that program and I moved to a different state with my dad. And he became sick and he had to have 2 surgeries. And so after both of those surgeries, I stayed there and I took care of him. And it was after that that I realized that I definitely want to become a nurse. The simulation labs provide us with some real world experiences that we haven't had yet in clinicals. And we're able to practice with scenarios that we might not see every single day, so that we'll be prepared for the real world when they actually happen. A particular sim lab scenario that was interesting to me was our coding scenario. It was a cold blue, so that means that the patient flatlined and they have no heart rate. There's a lot of adrenaline with a code. It's just interesting to see how in real life everyone knows their role, so getting to practice that, we get to see where we would be in a real world situation. I would tell a prospective student that if you are looking for a supportive environment that is set up for you to succeed, then DCTS is the place for you. I am Maymuna Sharif, and this is my DCTS pathway to becoming an LPN.
So once again, as I said earlier, I'm going to review the details of our program, but all of this information can be found on our website, dciu.org/LPN. So this is a 12-month program with 4 levels, and each level lasts 12 weeks. Classes begin in February and September each year, full-time, Monday through Friday. Each class admits 40 students. Students in level 1, students are taught the fundamental basic nursing skills necessary to care for a patient. They also learn math for medication administration, anatomy and physiology, as well as vocational nursing training. In level 2, the students learn the basic nutrition, the skill of administering medication, and they begin to learn content in medical surgical nursing. Students are also introduced to the concepts of mental health nursing. In level 3, the focus is on obstetrical, pediatric, and medical surgical nursing. And then in level 4, all students focus on advanced medical surgical nursing, psychiatric and cognitive impairment nursing, and gerontological nursing. Our clinical rotations can take place in healthcare facilities throughout Delaware County, introducing students to the many settings that they can find themselves working as a practical nurse. A few of these facilities are listed on our slide. Tuition prices reflect each level's courses. So the total cost for the program is $22,438. There is a non-refundable deposit of $1,500, which is due 30 days prior to starting the program. Uniforms and books are not included in this cost and must be purchased separately by the students. All tuition and fee information can be found on our website. So next up, I'd like to bring in the program's financial aid, I want to say hero, but consultant, who is Jeannie Cavalier Grover, to provide an overview regarding financial aid.
Hi, everyone. I just want to go over a quick overview of the financial aid application process so you can so you know what you can expect when you're applying for financial aid. There are 3 steps to apply for financial aid. The first one is completing the 2022-2023 FAFSA. Now, on the FAFSA, you can use a data retrieval tool. If you use this tool, it will make the application a much more simple process. The data retrieval tool actually pulls in your financial data from the IRS, so you don't have to data enter any of the information. When completing the 2022-2023 FAFSA, it is going to look at your income from 2020. So again, by using that data retrieval tool, you don't even have to have your taxes in front of you. You use this tool, it goes out to the IRS's website and pulls in all your personal specific information into the FAFSA. When you fill out the FAFSA, you do need to indicate our federal school code. This way, the information is released to me electronically and I can determine your financial aid eligibility. Our federal school code is 031284. And again, as long as that number is on your FAFSA, I will receive all your information electronically. The second step is completing the master promissory note. Now, the master promissory note is the legally binding paperwork that you need to complete to obtain a federal direct loan. Once you complete that master promissory note, it's actually good for 10 years of borrowing. So you only have to complete that once. Right now, the interest rate on the federal direct loans is 4.99%. And there is a origination fee that the Department of Ed keeps for the processing of your loan, which is a little over 1%. It's actually 1.057. So once you complete that master promissory note, that's when we can process your federal direct loan. The third step is completing an entrance counseling session. The entrance counseling session is going to take you about 15 or 20 minutes. And basically, the Department of Ed wants you to understand your rights and responsibilities as a student loan borrower. It's going to go over repayment, grace period, deferments, everything that you need to know when you're borrowing a student loan. This entrance counseling session will go over with you. And again, all of these 3 steps can be found at studentaid.gov. The FAFSA, the master promissory note, and the entrance counseling. Once you submit your applications, you may be eligible for a Pell Grant or federal direct loan. Just quickly, the Pell Grant is awarded to undergraduate students with financial need who have not received a bachelor's degree. The Pell Grant eligibility is based on financial need and is determined after you complete your FAFSA. You may also be eligible for a federal direct loan. It may be subsidized or unsubsidized, and these are low interest federal student loans offered by the Department of Education to assist students with the cost of their education. This is a loan that you do need to repay with interest. Just quickly, the difference between the two: the federal subsidized loan, the government pays the interest while you're in school. The unsubsidized only requires you to make interest payments only while you're in school. And if you can't do that, if you don't have the means to make the interest payments, you can have the loan capitalized, and everything would be paid once you graduate. We also participate in the PA TIP program. Now, this funding is from FIA, and it's for students enrolled in a healthcare program who are residents of Pennsylvania. The application is separate, and that can be found online at fia.org under the PA Targeted Industry Program link. Now, this application works a little differently, where once you submit the application, you will print it out and mail it directly to FIA for processing. It doesn't come back to our office, it goes to FIA. So just so you know, the Pell Grant and the Federal Direct Loan, that's federal funding. The funding from PA TIP is from the state of Pennsylvania. So we do participate in federal and state financial aid programs. Once you submit your applications, if we need any additional information, I would contact you via email. And once your application is processed, you will receive a financial aid award letter via email, which will inform you of your financial aid eligibility. Once you receive this, you will need to sign it and send it back to me before any of your financial aid can be processed. Just keep in mind too, since some of our students that are entering in our February class might have attended school in the fall at another school, just keep in mind you can only receive financial aid from one school at a time. So say you're eligible for a Pell Grant and you received half of that in the fall from another school, you would only be eligible for the additional half at our school starting in the fall. And I think that is it. Again, that was just a quick overview of the financial aid process. And if anyone has any questions, you can certainly let me know. Thank you.
Quick question before we move on. What was the code that you mentioned?
The school code 031284. That is our federal school code, which you would need to enter on your FAFSA.
Perfect. I just wrote that in the chat for everyone, as well as studentaid.gov, so that you can check that out later. So I know that it's not listed on the screen, but just so you can review it later. Perfect.
Great.
Thank you, Jeannie.
You're welcome.
So on the website, we do have a step-by-step admission process. And that's to be considered a candidate for the practical nursing program. Each individual is required to complete the TEAS, which is the Test of Essential Academic Skills pre-admission exam. Once the TEAS test is completed, the application and a non-refundable fee of $260 is then submitted. This reserves your spot in the program. Students who score between a 44 and a 57 are provided a free remediation course before admission to the program. So after the spot is secured, the student will then receive a code to begin submitting information to Castle Branch for the pre-admission background screening process. And once the background check is completed, the student next applies for financial aid. So if you need any assistance during the admission process, we are here to help. You can contact us at lpn@dciu.org, or you can call us at 484-423-7003. We truly offer an amazing program that leads students to their desired position in healthcare. I have another short video clip from Lauren, a recent graduate of ours, who, as a single mom of two, was inspired to enroll with us to become an LPN during the pandemic.
My path to becoming an LPN was a little different. I always wanted to become a nurse, and I always knew about this program even during high school. I had my children very young at 18 and 19, so I didn't think that I was ready right out of high school. But when they were about 3, 4, I printed out the application. I took the TEAS test here at this building. and I was all ready to go, but I was afraid. I was afraid to not be able to handle being a mom and school. When COVID hit, my kids were already in middle school, and I lost my job. And that's when I realized I had to put myself first and do what I wanted to do. I knew right away I wanted to come here. I printed out the application, I called, and classes started in 2 months. I have a special needs sister who's actually older than me, but sometimes seems younger. I watched my mom care for her all my life. I've seen nurses come in and out all my life as well. We even had nurses go on vacations with us. So I always have wanted to be a nurse. Like, I enjoyed helping with my mom. I enjoyed helping the nurse. My grandmom's a nurse. My sister's a nurse. She actually came to this program 2 years ago. Now I'm here. I would tell a student that is looking towards this program at DCTS that you can do it. You just have to give it your all. You have to be ready, but you can do this. I am Lauren Winston, and this is my DCTS pathway to becoming an LPN.
So tonight I have shown you the endless benefits of enrolling in our program, as well as the opportunities that you may have upon graduation. If you're still looking for reasons to join our program, we do offer full accreditation by the ACEN, Accreditation Commission for the Education in Nursing, and approval by the Pennsylvania State Board of Nursing. Our program has the #1 return of investment in the state of Pennsylvania over a 10-year period. We have a 90 to 100% job placement rate, and we do offer financial aid and grants for students. We also offer the NCLEX PN preparation towards the end of our program. So now that we have made it to the end of our session, I'd like to host a Q&A segment. So if you submitted a question in the chat box, we will answer it now.
All right, the first question is, so if you do not pass the TEAS exam, you still have a seat? I am misunderstanding. If you could give some clarification on the TEAS test, that would be great, Kate.
So our TEAS test, the entrance rate currently is 44, a score of 44 or above. But if you score between the 44 and the 57, we have you take a remedial course, and it's currently an online course, and the program will support you in taking that course. So we do have a passing score of 44. We remediate between 44 and 57.
Perfect. What scholarships / grants do you offer for new LPN students?
We offer the Pennsylvania TIP grant through this Pennsylvania State. And then we also have Pell Grants that are available through the federal loans. And some of our students, they have also received tuition support from employers. And some of them have also found some support on their own, like through different websites.
Perfect. Do you have night classes? If so, what are the times?
Do we have what classes?
Night classes.
Night classes, evening?
Yes.
No, we do not. So our hours are Monday through Friday. We're a full-time day program. And depending on what level you're in, you know, our class days are from 8 to 4 or 8:15 to 4:15, I think it is. And then the clinical days, which are towards the end of the week, are always from 7 to 2:30.
Perfect. Is the program available online as well as in person?
It is not. We are an in-person program. We do not do online.
How does it work for students who may be out of state?
We still accept students out of state. You don't get as much grant funding, and you're not eligible for the state of Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania TIP grant.
How can I get to take the TEAS test?
You can go to our website and look through the step-by-step process, and there'll be a link to how to take the TEAS test.
Uniforms and books aren't included. So what are we looking to pay out of pocket for those items?
I think I can't really say that. We have to give you a number on that because some of our students will get their books from other students. So I can't give you a number of that offhand, but you could call our office and speak to us if you wanted to get a better idea of that. I don't think we have that on our website right now, but I'm not 100% sure.
I do know from the website that the books are listed, so you could
Okay.
look for the IBSN numbers. You can look for them online at different sites. A lot of different college book sites, you can rent them. You can rent them new. You can rent them used. You could buy them or something else. There's a lot of different options out there for buying books, and a lot of different sites out there as well for buying books too, coming from my previous college experience.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next question. How often do the classes start?
We offer 2 classes per year, and one will start in September and then one starts in February.
Perfect. Can you further explain about the Castle Branch clearance procedures?
So we partner with a company called Castle Branch, as do most other nursing programs. And then the student will get a code through this program, and then you'll submit your documents that are necessary for our facilities through Castle Branch. So all the paperwork that we used to submit to the program now goes into like a data bank through Castle Branch. And you'll upload them from your computer.
Perfect. How many times can you take the TEAS test? And do you suggest a study method, example book, or tutor?
So we ask for scores that you've taken the TEAS test within the past 2 years. And you can I think you can take the TEAS test up to 3 times. And you want to spread it out a specific amount of time over a period of like 3 to 6 months. That's also on our website.
Perfect. How about educational material? Is it with printed books or online readings?
That would depend on what you choose. If you go with the printed material of the books, or if they offered the book in a electronic format, then you might want to purchase that. That would depend on you.
Perfect. What are the books that are needed? I believe they are listed on the website with all of the IBSN numbers as well. So if I am a CNA for over 10 years, can I test out of a few classes?
We don't have testing out of classes for CNAs. We start with some basic CNA skills for the first 6 weeks of our program in fundamentals of nursing. But then we quickly get into some of the nursing skills the last 6 weeks of level 1.
Perfect. What are the requirements for the program, and what are the prerequisites do I need to take before getting into the program?
You have to be a graduate of high school. We do need to have your high school transcripts, or you can also test out with a GED. We've had plenty of students do that, and that's all on our website to tell you how to get that, how to get a GED if you need that. Or if you were educated in another country, we do require certificates from the Pennsylvania state, and that's also on our website. There's a link to take you to that.
Perfect. I haven't scheduled for the test yet. I would like to take it early next week. Would that be too late for me?
The TEAS test, that is, I take it?
Yes.
No. You usually get your results within 1 to 2 days of taking your TEAS test. And that's the first step of getting into the program, so you still have time.
Perfect. What are the options for those who don't qualify for financial aid?
You would have to pay out of pocket for the tuition.
And we do offer a payment plan too. So we could set you up on a payment plan where rather than paying your level charges right on the first day of school, each level, we would divide it into 3 payments. So we could work with you to kind of spread the payments out.
Perfect. How about students to student assistance on clinical visits? Is it encouraged or every clinical visits are dealt individually?
So we normally will use about 3 to 4 different clinical sites a level, and we split the class up between the 4 sites. So each student is put into a clinical group with about 8 students and 1 instructor.
Perfect. When does the next class start?
I think it's February. Don't know the exact date.
I think it's February 16th.
Yeah, that February 16th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. So this next one, what date does the program start and end? So do you have an end date to go along with that start date?
So if it starts February 16th, it ends right around of 2023. It will end about right around February 16th of 2024.
Perfect. Are there any grants to help with the $1,500 deposit?
That deposit does need to be paid upfront, the $1,500 deposit. Now, when your financial aid is dispersed, if your financial aid covers your tuition and fees, we would offer you a refund. But that $1,500 does need to be, put down first before you begin the program. And we would not know if that money would be refundable until we figure out your financial aid eligibility.
Perfect. Someone asked, can I get the website? It is listed at the bottom of the screen, dciu.org/LPN. And then how long is the LPN course?
It is 12 months, 12 weeks per level, and there are 4 levels in the year.
How can I get a GED?
You could go to our website and look over that information. You could also go through the Delaware County Literacy Council, and they would assist you and help you to get that GED.
Perfect. I'm not sure if I missed this question, but does the FAFSA cover our books and other essentials?
The FAFSA does not cover your books or your uniforms. That will be up to the individual student, but we have found that by not having FAFSA cover them, that sometimes you can find them at cheaper rates, and you might be able to get a used uniform as well too. So that actually is helping us to cut down on costs by not having them covered by FAFSA.
Great. If I take the test next week and I don't pass, do I still have time to take the classes to start the program in February?
If you score between that 44 and 57, you still have time to take that course before it starts.
Perfect. And do you have a prep course for the TEAS test?
There is a prep course that's offered on the ATI website for the TEAS course. So we do not have our own prep course, but ATI offers a prep course.
Okay. When is the deadline for applying to the February class?
It's usually about a month before the class starts. And that's mostly because you have to get some clearances and a physical and things like that in to the program through Castle Branch before you start. So we like to have everybody in about a month before we start. So that would be around January the 16th.
Okay. If I took A and P at a community college, can I test out?
You can look at our website and you can review our advanced placement policy.
Perfect. How can I get the link to do the test?
Through ATI, you can go to our website and there's a step-by-step process. And one of the first steps is to take that TEAS test and you'll be able to click onto their link to take the TEAS test.
What is the full tuition?
It's about $22,000 is full tuition, $22,438.
Perfect. And is the test online or in person?
I believe it can be done either way. That would be up to you.
Perfect. And our last question that I have is, some students might have come from different background, culture, language, and different perspective. Do instructors consider these facts and help patiently until understanding is maintained?
Steve and I should have you answer that one. Steve Hill. The student population is very diverse here. Go ahead. You might be able to be knowing what it's like as a student. You could probably answer that one pretty well.
Definitely. So when I arrived to class, we had people ranging from early high school graduates. We had two gentlemen who just graduated from high school. We had two other male who are from Africa. One was in his 60s and another in his 50s. I was in my 30s at the time. We had young ladies from different countries, different backgrounds as well. We had whites, blacks. We had Asian, a person who I sat with, and he was with a lot of times at clinicals with me. So it's very diverse. Instructors are diverse. So once you get to that school, everyone is after the same goal. So we act in unity, help each other out. And it's just we're in a good place because we're all after the same goal, is to succeed and pass the program, become great nurses.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. We do have two more questions. Do we purchase our uniforms from the school?
No, we have you purchase them from a supplier.
Perfect. And our last question, if you test between 44 and 58 and have to take classes, do you have to take the TEAS test again?
No.
Perfect. And then, okay, a last question, actually. Is there any electronics that are needed for the program?
We do require a computer.
Perfect. Now that is the last question. Thank you all for the Q&A. Kate, I believe we have a little bit more information.
Sorry, yes, let me just go back to this. Okay. So I would like to thank all of the prospective students and panelists for joining us tonight, as well as our DCIU administrators that made this event possible. Please do not hesitate to contact us at lpn@dciu.org or calling 484-423-7003. We are also on Instagram and Facebook at Delco Tech LPN. Remember, the information that we reviewed tonight is available on our website, dciu.org/LPN. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we hope to be a part of your pathway to becoming a licensed practical nurse. For those that would like to stay on, we have two more videos to show you. First, Amadou Bangura will share why he joined our program. And right after, you will see Amadou again and his classmates handling a code blue and other patient issues in our hands-on simulation lab. Thank you, everyone.
My path to become an LPN is I'm currently working in a group home where we help elderly people to achieve their goals to become independent. And with all the services that we provide for them, I decided to empower myself to become an LPN. The simulation lab helped me a lot when it comes to learning more. It is not just about what you read in the book. You come put it into practical terms, and thereby doing it repeatedly, it is an opportunity for it to stick, not just reading the theory, but the practical aspect of it to get used to it, know how to manipulate all the equipment. Even when we go for clinicals, you will find out that because of these simulation labs, we are improving and we are doing very well in the clinical field. I will encourage you to choose this program because they maintain standards, their values, their instructors are always there to help you out when you have a problem. Their simulation program is the best. So I'm encouraging you all to choose this program so that you will be able to impact lives out there. It is one of the best. Choose this program and you will succeed. I am Amidu Bangura. This is my DCTS pathway to become an LPN.
Here at DCTS, the most important element of our practical nursing program is getting students hands-on experience right from the start. Within the first few weeks of our program, Level 1 students are introduced to our state-of-the-art simulation lab. Our lab is equipped with high-fidelity mannequins that can replicate bodily autonomy, like breathing, coughing, blinking, and talking. Important metrics like blood pressure, heart rate, and oxygen levels can be manipulated to resemble situations students might find themselves responding to as an LPN. The invaluable experience from the Sim Lab gives students the confidence to apply their skills when working with real patients. Our classroom structure allows for students to reflect on their simulation experience and apply what they've learned as they move through the program. Our program's goal is to send our graduates out into the real world prepared to provide exceptional and safe patient care.
Chest. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and give you the nitroglycerin. Do you have any questions about it?
No, you explained it really nicely the other day. I remember all the education you gave me.
Right, and can you confirm your date of birth and your name?
Mercy P. Diem, 11/3/1974.
Thank you.
Do I swallow this medication?
No, this medication is going to go under your tongue, and I'm going to stay with you to make sure that your angina subsides.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. Thank you for reminding me.
Hey Pat, are you okay? Are you okay? She has no pulse, no respiration. Cold blow.
I have the crash cart. I'll start respirations.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Every scenario in the simulation lab builds students' critical thinking skills and keeps them engaged when learning best practices in the classroom. Learning how to respond to a stressful patient scenario in a controlled environment will have students thinking like a practical nurse before they even step into their first clinical setting.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is Nurse Amidu. How you feeling now? You good? All right, she's breathing.
For more information on our program, visit dciu.org/LPN.
Perfect. I want to thank everyone so much for joining us this evening. Again, this presentation was recorded and it will be posted on the dciu.org/LPN under the open house tab tomorrow morning. So you can check it out again and listen to all of the questions that were answered and all of the great information. But for now, you can follow us again on social media at Delco Tech LPN. And I hope everyone has a great evening. Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.